It was March 2020 and the world as we knew it changed in the blink of an eye. I don't even have to say it, because you know what I'm referring to. A pandemic, lockdown, quarantine, viruses, masks, all these abnormal words quickly became a part of our normal vocabulary as a society as a whole and within families at home. Jude was in kindergarten and loving every second of it. He adored his teacher, his classmates, and as his mother, I was thrilled to see him thriving in so many ways. When we came home right before spring break, thinking we'd be going back within no more than 2 weeks, emotions ran high, especially as the window of hope seemed to close in on all of us. Suddenly, my social and beaming little boy was easily shut down by anxiety and fear, and I felt it too. Panic set in as the unknowns seemed to settle in a thick fog all around us. The nighttime seemed to be the worst. Jude, what do you think about when we talk about COVID?
Whenever COVID first started, I felt really nervous, and I got used to it.
Yeah, over time you got used to it? Yeah. Were you scared?
Yeah.
At first, what were you scared of?
Getting sick.
Yeah, I felt that way too. Months went by, and around October 2020, as we were visiting some friends and I was putting Jude to bed, I believe that the Holy Spirit gives mothers and parents unique perspective and wisdom regarding our children, and that night was a perfect example. That night, as I tucked Jude into bed and convinced him that he was okay over and over and over and over, I had the sinking feeling that there was more going on with my son than just the regular nighttime jitters. It was more than just one more song or read me one more book. In my spirit, I felt like I was missing some information on my child, and I felt that I needed some outside support and help. We had spent so many nights shedding a lot of tears between Jude and me, struggling trying to figure out how to find some sort of peace in our home. I immediately started looking around for a great childhood therapist and psychologist for my son. I'm so grateful that we found one very quickly, and we were able to make an appointment soon after. So Jude, can you talk to me a little bit about Jonathan? What do you do when we go there?
Sometimes we talk about taking, it's called ninja breaths.
Yeah.
Where you take deep breaths, but you don't really make a sound.
Yeah, because you can do those anywhere, right?
Yeah.
You can do it at school, you can do it in public, you can do it anytime. And why would you do a ninja breath?
If you're stressed out or something.
Yeah. After our first meeting with Dr. Bauman, or Jonathan as we call him, it became clear that we had a big task in front of us. Jude's therapist confirmed that he absolutely has anxiety, which explains so much of the checking behavior and the constant need for reassurance and, you guessed it, answers, just like his mama. It explained the physical responses that Jude had been struggling to verbalize to us. It explained the racing heart he often mentioned, the moments he told me that he couldn't breathe, and the high emotions that seemed to always tip the scales at bedtime. We began attending therapy every other week, and the work was laid out before us. I can't express the importance of finding a good therapist. Jude and I would love to share some of the things we've learned with you all, and maybe you can apply these ideas during your own journey with anxiety. I often find myself resonating with the words and information that Jude's therapist gives. Many times I will be taking down notes and writing down our homework as a family for the week, and internally I will be saying, yep, that's me. Yep, I need to do that too. Yep, I do that too. Oh wow, now that makes sense. There's no shame in finding help, in finding a therapist that you can trust. There's no shame in acknowledging your anxiety and giving yourself a safe space to reset, take a breath, and start all over again. As I said before in my own story with anxiety, it really all comes down to fear. And as a mother, so often I just want to fix it for my child. I want my boys to feel safe and secure, and I don't want them to be afraid. I found myself many times when Jude has been afraid, saying to him, there's nothing to be afraid of. Why are you scared? Willing him to just stop it and turn off the fear. But realistically, that isn't how it works. Anxiety does not function with an on-off button. I've learned as a mother that I need to acknowledge my child's fear and say things like, I see that you are afraid and it is okay to be afraid, and following it up with some affirming statements. Jude, How many times have mommy and daddy said to you, I know this is hard, but you can do it?
A lot.
Yeah, we say it a lot, don't we? And does that help when we say that? Does it make you feel encouraged? No? Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes it does help.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
a lot.
It just gives you a little bit of boost of confidence. Like, even if I don't know what's going on, you can feel a little bit of support, right? Yeah. Jude's therapist once told me that being afraid and being brave go hand in hand. Simply put, you can't show bravery without having first felt fear. The thing is, for an anxious person, whether a child or an adult, no amount of reassurance will ever be enough. Sometimes when we experience anxiety, we have to allow the uncertainness and the yucky feelings that come with the unknown to just be. We have to ride that wave of anxiousness, of fear, and know and trust that it will pass. During scary or difficult times, it helps to remind Jude to reflect on the times before where it was scary, and yet, did the worst case scenario happen? Nope. And did he survive through the night? Yep. Again, that affirming statement of, I know this is hard, but I know that you can do it. You know how often I say this to myself, even at work, Jude? I say it to myself a lot at work when I'm struggling. We've learned how to manage these anxiety attacks when they come. It doesn't mean it's a foolproof and perfect plan, but it does help to have some tools to help us when these feelings come. You showed us those ninja breaths. Are there anything else that you've done with Jonathan that helps you when you're feeling nervous or anxious about something?
Well, there's something that you do with like 5 things.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, what are the 5 things that you do when you're feeling uncertain and you're feeling that fear and that anxiety in your tummy?
You look for something.
So, yeah, something
like,
let's listen.
Something that you can see, touch, smell, feel, and taste.
Yes. It's something we see, something we hear, something we feel, something we smell, and something we taste. Yeah, kind of ground you in the moment when it feels like everything around you is going crazy. Jude and I have learned that sometimes when your heart is racing and you feel that stress around you and in you, you just need to slow down. You can take the ninja breaths, and it helps your mind to find some peace in a stressful situation. Or you can do the 5-finger count to figure out what's going on around us and remind us that there's actually like things happening around us that aren't just the anxiety and the scary feelings. Finding those 5 things is like taking the blinders off. Remember the blinders that we talked about that horses have to wear to keep them in the tunnel vision? Well, with anxiety, we actually want to take the blinders off. For me, going to the lake and walking or running for even just 20 minutes removes my anxiety-ridden blinders. For me, singing or playing piano takes the blinders off. Anxiety likes to tell us that we are alone, and we have every reason to be afraid and doubt ourselves. But we have to be mindful of what is around us, and it reminds us that we aren't alone, and we can ride that uneasy feeling of uncertainty, and that we have handled hard things before, and we can handle them again. God has been rewriting my sweet boy story. He has been teaching us, with the help and support of a professional therapist, the many tools we have to walk through this journey of anxiety. It isn't easy, it isn't always fun, and it can be scary, but I know you can do it. Remember, to practice bravery, you have to first feel fear. They go hand in hand.